Evanix Rainstorm 30 caliber. This thing is loud. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dave Cole. I'm going to be shooting the Evanix Rainstorm II 30 caliber rifle today. We're going to do some downrange testing. I'm going to go over the gun with you a little bit, some things that I've done to it to accuratize it, I guess is a popular word nowadays in air guns. Something's improved it for my shooting capabilities anyway. First, I'll go over the little technical parts of the gun with you, what I have found out and what I've also done with it. Let's go over some of the details of the gun. The Evanix 30 caliber, 250cc air tube, maximum fill pressure is 200 bar. I have this one charged up. I started about 2700 to get my shot curve. I thought this is interesting. They're putting a date of manufacture on there as April of 2017. So this particular gun has not been manufactured for very long, just a few months. It's got a very nice checkered forestock on it, nice grip. The gun's not very heavy. I think it's about 6 pounds, 6.8 pounds. I'll double check that without the scope. This particular model is a thumb hole. Now the earlier models were not. They had the standard type pistol grip stock. It is an ambidextrous stock on top of that, which is nice because I'm a left-handed shooter, so I take those sort of things into consideration. Fully adjustable butt pad, single screw adjustment, easy to do. Side safety switch. I really like where this is positioned. It's right there to where I can get to it with my thumb, move it back and forth right there, go from safe to fire real easy. Side lever, man, hey, I'm going to tell you, this thing is really smooth. I've got an S510 and the cocking lever on this thing is every bit as smooth. It's such a simplistic design. I have been inside the action because I changed the hammer spring to improve my shot count. And you can see the mechanics when you get the stock off, which is really easy to do. I changed out the hammer spring, put the Marauder hammer spring in there for the 25. Just ideal for it. Now, I don't know the size, dimensions, the wire, I do not know any of that. But you do want a lighter spring. I'm sure if you do a little Google search, I'm sure that you can find out, or even call Crossman. They can tell you, or order one, that too. A little bit of information here. When you go to mount your scope, you got to use high mounts because you got to clear the magazine. It is right up against it. With my Hawk side wheel, with the minimal side wheel on the other side, I cannot get the magazine in from the left. It has to go in from the right. And honestly, it's easier if you can put it in from the left. Not sure why that is, but it is just a much easier transition to get that in. This is, like I say, it's a Hawk sidewinder. It is an 8.5 by 25. But I usually shoot it on the 20 power. It is a 1/2 mil dot, and I really love the reticle on this gun. So, hey, let's go ahead and let's get our target down range. Let's do some shooting. Let's see what it looks like at 50 yards. See what kind of groups we get. And if the weather holds out, I just heard some thunder. If the weather holds out, I might try and do a 100-yard group. Wow, to me that's impressive. 30 caliber, 50 yards. Definitely prairie dog gun. That's primarily what I'm going to use it for. I'd say those 10 prairie dogs are in serious, serious trouble. No doubt about it. So, hey, just for fun, let's stretch it out. Let's see if we can do it 100. Wow. You know, that's a 10-shot group. Look at this. Now again, gotta remember guys, this is a 30 caliber rifle and the spread's gonna be a lot bigger. You're not gonna be picking off chipmunks and starlings with a 30 cal. At least, not in my neck of the woods. This gun is really, it's a serious predator gun. If you're looking for something in the budget of $700 as opposed to some of the other 30s that run a lot higher, I would consider this Evanix. I think that this gun is definitely in a class by itself. It's a dark horse, no doubt about it. With groups like the 50 yard and this at 100, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to the next prairie dog hunt because at 100 yards they will be no match. This is prairie dog size right here, no doubt about it. And even other type of game. I mean, it could be rabbits or whatever at a distance, 100 yards. That is not too bad. I got to admit, I'm kind of excited about it. I'm looking forward to the hunt that I get to take this gun on. I think it'll be exciting. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be successful. So let's head back to the range. Hey, how about those 50-yard groups? I'll tell you, I'm impressed. For the cost of the gun, what are they, $650, $670, something like that. That is really an accurate gun. I'll grant you it is loud, and I do have a air stripper coming for it, and I'm not going to test the sound on this. I can just tell you it's too loud. It's never going to be backyard. If you have a backyard, then you don't need this gun. If you have a open area, you got some land where you don't really have neighbors that it would bother, then I don't see why not. But it's not backyard friendly. But when I get my air stripper on there, I will do a decibel test on it, and I'll put it in this video as to what that decibel rating came out, and you can make that judgment on whether or not you want to do this. And besides, I think a 30 caliber is just too much for backyard. I mean, it's seriously, the gun's putting out about 70 some foot-pounds of energy, and you're going to have a heck of a pellet trap to do that. Wood's not going to do it. Okay, so again, I would bypass this. If you're looking at this gun for a backyard gun, if you got neighbors behind you, near you, I think it'd be a mistake. So that's kind of my take on it. But let's look at these real quick. That's some groups. I mean, that's a 10 shot group. And if I had a quarter, I'd measure it, but it is it's right at a quarter size group. Korean air rifle, can't knock it. I think it's a great gun. I'm going to consider getting maybe one of their other guns. I think I may be hooked on Korean air guns now. But you got to remember, in the size of these targets, I mean, the holes in this target, it's pushing a piece of lead that big down there. So take that in consideration when you're measuring those groups. That is not bad for a 30. Might be a little bit big for a 177 or 22 or even 25. But I don't think it's bad for a 30. And I'll tell you, those 100-yard groups, that was not bad for a 100-yard group. I'm shooting this gun off this Caldwell tripod. I'm not shooting off a bag of ice, anything like that. So there is going to be, some possible error there, some shooting error. But if you're shooting medium-sized game, if you're out there doing coyote work, if you're out there doing, again, medium-sized game, I'm going to use for shooting prairie dogs and as the such, maybe getting other types of game. This is going to be a great choice. I believe I can get out there 100, 150 yards, pretty easy, and do some decimation on those critters. It should buck the wind much better than the 22s and the guns like that. Again, prairie dog shooting, if you've ever done it, we were in South Dakota. It was windy, and we needed that extra weight of the pellet, so we didn't have to hold it off the edge of the scope, which was way too much. So anyway, I think we're going to go back. I'll do some trigger testing. I'll show you what the results are on that, and we'll give it a wrap.